everybody? It's your girl, Lady Kootoure, the voice of our media diva. Welcome to the Kootoure Experience. I am so happy to see my sister, to see her face, to see that she's still alive, honey, live and kicking, honey, out here in these streets.
Okay.
My it is the lovely, talented, amazing Delequa is in the building. Hi, love.
Hi, babies.
Thank you
My
for joining me.
sister. I
Listen.
adore you.
No, I adore you. I am so happy that you are here. I'm so happy that you get to tell, a little bit of your story to the audience. First things first, I want you to, introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are. Your many different hats that you wear, you know, and what you do. So the floor is yours, my dear.
All right, loves. You're getting the real raw me today with my girl because this is my sister, a true beautiful spirit and being you are, sister. I am your girl, Delequa. I am a singer, actress, philanthropist, um, and I'm a proud Black trans woman, darling. And I've had a journey in this gift we have called life, ups and downs. But no matter what, I'm grateful because we always, once you get to the other side, it's always the best feeling.
Mhm. That's right. That's right. Now, I want to touch on, because being a Black, especially right now with this administration,
Hmm.
and being a Black trans woman, it's kind of like, I kind of feel, I was saying to myself one day, I was like, we're pretty much kind of like a target,
Hmm.
and to me, I feel Black trans women are women. That's the bottom line. That's what I stand on. Um, and I feel that we're all targeted. I feel that no matter, if you're born biologically or we're all a target at this point.
Hmm.
Um, for the first, what is this? We're March, so this is like 90 something days.
90 days in, yeah.
Yeah, 90 days in. How has it been for you, just these 90 days at this, like your mental, like everything? Like, how has this been like for you?
You know, I keep my ears to the streets always.
Mhm.
Um, Although I have been one to go live and be very vocal
Mhm.
with where I stand, I also understand that there's always there is the highest power.
Mhm.
Okay. The one who created us all,
Mhm.
the creator.
Right.
And my trust will always be in the creator and in our ancestors.
Right.
So there's nothing any mere human being can do, say, or even try to implement that can stop what it is that the ancestors and God and the universe has planned for
Right.
me. You
Mhm.
know? So right now, what I do understand is that people are acting in the ways that they feel is right for them,
Mhm.
which we strongly disagree with the other side with their feelings and thoughts, and as they strongly disagree with us.
Mhm.
But what I will always stand on is the hill of everyone deserves rights.
Mhm.
Everyone deserves to be also heard, but when it becomes a point, it becomes wrong when rights are being questioned. That's when we have a problem
Mhm.
because you're now starting to oppress others, and we're not doing that. Not
Right.
in 2025. We're not standing for it?
Right. Right. So it's like they're trying to silence all of us,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
are not of that, on that side. And it's just like, you know what? No, we're not going to be silenced, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
can't do that with us. Um so yeah, so it's a trying time, uh for a lot of us who are not on
Mm-hmm.
that side of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we just have to keep pressing
Yeah.
and keep moving, and can't live in fear at this moment.
Had not.
You can't.
Say that one more time.
You cannot live in fear. I've always been told you can't worry and pray. It's one or the other. You got to do one or the other. Um, so just to go back a little bit, because I love when you would always tell this story of a time where you were, and I think you had said like I think it was when you were in transition or in the church, and because we're part of the Beehive, you
Mm-hmm,
know, and but you were at a point, pretty much like a breaking point, but there was something like it was with Destiny's Child, I think it was.
mm-hmm.
And tell me a little bit, tell the audience about that.
Okay, I think you're referring to because you listen, girl, and I love it. You are such an active listener. Um, I think you're speaking of the time when I went to the Mrs. Carter show.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I had rushed. This was the second leg of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I had already had my gospel album out, and the year before that, I had put a gospel album out. It was year 2013. I had my gospel album out. I was on TV with Tasha Cobbs and everything when she had Break Every Chain out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was she was promoting that album, the For Your Glory album. We ended up on the same segments together, and I was promoting my album at the time. And that's Atlanta Live. I was on Atlanta Live, which you guys will see. I have some of that footage, so you'll be seeing that soon, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so that following year, I was just so pressed to go to the Beyonce concert because she was she was showing me so many things that I was like, okay, my girl B is not playing. And at this time, I had been listening to her, but I had been steering. I had been silently side eyeing
Mm-hmm.
because I was heavy in the church, and the I Am Sasha Fierce album that was like, huh? That was when they started with the Illuminati rumors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then you get to four, and they were doing that with that. And then she has the self title. This is all but within a time of a lot of craziness going on.
Right.
Um, long story short, I started to really struggle with who I was. Listen, I know I'm denying myself. And as I would go to these gospel events, I would see people that I held of high esteem operating in things that they weren't preaching from the pulpit or singing from those stages. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh, okay. Things that make you go, hmm. I
Mm-hmm.
said, I have to go explore. And I did say, God, what is going on? And there's a song that India Ari has called The Wings of Forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked about in going away in her place of solitude. And she is the one thing that she heard was to thine own self be true.
Right.
And I had to start living by that. So long story short, I don't went on digress, but I went to the Mrs. Carter show, and I had went, and I remember going out and buying this outfit. Girl, I had these heels that was like these heels was taller than tall. How do you hear me? I
Right.
was living for these heels. I said, this outfit is everything. I had this cute shawl and these cute tights, and I said, oh, look at this cute little outfit. And I have the picture of the outfit actually. I have to show it to you.
Uh-huh.
But I went to the show, and the show was everything. I was front row too, mind you, for this one. I was in the front. I was me and my friend was in the front. And at the end of the show, when we were leaving, mind you, this was still when she was in arenas.
Mm-hmm.
So this was her last arena tour, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm down in the thing as we're leaving. I start just tiptoeing in my heels. It's like this uproar throughout the arena, and they're all like, "They're screaming for you! They're screaming for you!" I'm like, what? So I just start, dancing and moving and stuff in the heels, and girl, they was going crazy. That moment, I said, "I want those screams. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
want. I live for the applause. I,
Yeah.
I live for the applause."
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the moment that I was like, I gotta be myself. And then people started calling my pastors and all kind of stuff, child, talking about what they seen on the internet and what I was wearing, how I'd even tried to sick certain gospel artists on me. I'm not gonna mention no names, but
Yeah.
yeah. So,
So that's a big thing. It's like in the black church, they're so, oh, you have to be this way, or the LGBTQ, oh no, that's the only sin that they choose to look at, which is, like just so how I feel about that. But because I'm like, we'll be on here all night. Um,
okay.
but but that is it, and it seems like at that moment, and I love that happened, because sometimes it does take a moment like that, whether
Hmm.
are at home, or whether and you were out in public, honey, and that right there was just like click. Okay, I got this
Yeah.
is it. This is what I want. So and is that where it was also to where it was like you stepped away from gospel music and just went into what they want to call secular music or start because it seems like every singer, no matter who, they all start in the church
Yes.
and then it moved, they move on to whether it be R&B or whatever, else
Mhm.
or whatever else. So when that happened, you basically kind of left gospel and just went on into like doing like the R&B and stuff. Will you ever go back to doing gospel
I love that question
music?
because just recently someone had asked me about gospel music, and my current bishop, who I have not been to my church in over a year,
Mhm.
but I'm now that I'm closer to the church, I will be I will be going. But they always tell me, you got to do gospel, you got to do gospel. What I will tell people is, and this is an exclusive because it's the first time I'm saying this in an interview, um, get ready for the new album.
Okay.
When the album comes, there is I'm an artist. I sing, I love all genres of music. And
Mhm.
my first two albums, I pigeon-toed myself into one genre. I ever since Beyonce's self-titled album, I've always and technically her four album, I've always wanted to do an album of gumbo. Like I call it
Mhm.
my own little gumbo, different types of sounds, songs, things that I'm saying. I sound different. I use all of the parts of me. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying and who I am as a being because that makes you powerful and you realize how powerful you really are. And so I feel like this album that I have coming will really be able to touch anyone anywhere, and that's what I wanted. So to answer your question, look for that album.
Yeah. Look for that album. Okay, okay. And I definitely will be looking for that.
I
Now,
will say gospel music will always be my favorite genre of music though.
yes. It is. And it's just like if people would understand that when you come out of the church or you sing secular music or what they want to call secular, if you want to sing other genres of music, you still have God with you no matter what.
You have to because you have the breath of air in you, and
Right.
that breath comes from only the Creator. So the
Exactly.
fact that people think that God isn't a part of it, and God even created Satan, so
Yeah, I mean,
created everything, good
listen.
and evil.
Okay. Okay. So before we, close out, I want to just talk about really quickly what what are I would say where I'm trying to see where do you see yourself? Where do you see Delequa in 5 years? What
Yeah,
is the future for Delequa? What is the future looking like?
I love that because I see it very clear at this time. Actually, um, definitely music that is changing the world and that is making an impact
Mhm.
throughout the entire world that makes true noise that even 45, 47, and his minions hear
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to be able to make the impact that I know I was put on this earth to make,
Mhm.
and I plan on being successful, and the biggest thing is helping others
Yeah.
in whatever capacity that I'm able to help others and help this world heal, help people grow, help people get put in a better place. That's what I love. What my girl T.S. Madison is doing with her house, with the T.S. Madison house.
Mhm.
That's just one part, one little small part of the puzzle of the amazing work that she does.
Yeah.
And so I look at that and hope, and all my girls that are out here doing the work. I'm ready to, in 5 years, I see that for myself. I see myself being in a place of strong stability in every part of my life, that I have so much stability that I can give that to the world,
Yeah.
so they can do it, the way they do.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Now, to close us out, what would you say to other Black trans women who are
Mhm.
out here who feel like, you know what, this is it. I'm done. There's no like, because there's a lot of Black trans women who are out here, they can't get jobs and they're going to the street and things, and a lot of them are being unalive like every
Like
day.
clockwork. Yes.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, what do you say to the Black trans women who think that they have no hope, they have nothing left now?
Well, what I say is the breath of life that is put in each and every one of us is something that we do have the power to stop, but don't need to.
Mm,
Let it stop when it's supposed to.
right.
As long as you have that, that means the greatest power has your back,
Yeah.
you know, and you have to apply that to every single thing that you go through. It sounds cliche in many ways, but a cliche wouldn't be called a cliche if it wasn't to be a cliche.
Right. Right. Right.
Feel me?
I got you.
Like people say that, but then when someone said that to me and said you gotta go deeper with it, because
Yeah.
everybody wants to go deeper with things, but we don't go deeper with the right things.
Right. Right.
Go deeper with those things that you're talking about that you shouldn't go deeper. Of course, everything that's the biggest trick the enemy ever played on us is
Yeah.
to trick us into things that we're not supposed to have.
That's true.
People are not supposed to have something and it belongs to us, you know? And that enemy is adversity.
Mm.
So never give up. I felt like that, but even in the last few days, I said to myself, I have a lot of things facing me, but I said, honey, I trust the process. And at the end of the day, the process ain't gonna fail me.
That's it. That's it. That is it. Well, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Delacroix, I love you so much. I thank you.
Mhm. They,
We
them,
are
and in between too. And whoever,
okay.
and if anybody who doesn't even conform to one of it, you want to be whatever you want to be.
Yes, to
I don't care.
non-binary and
Yeah.
right. I keep forgetting about. I don't know why. I keep forgetting about that. But yes, you're right. I thank you. I love you. I adore you.
Love you.
Appreciate you so so much. We're gonna have to do this again. And actually we're gonna have to do like a panel. And we're gonna have to do like an hour-long panel and have like these discussions either once a month, but I'll figure something out with that.
Mhm.
But let everybody know really quickly where they can find you.
Well, you know what else we're gonna do? You're gonna get an exclusive once because I have something coming in a few more weeks, and I
Mhm.
want you to be the exclusive person to cover it.
Okay.
Okay, but you can find me on Lady Couture's page because I know that's where y'all be at. Because my sister does not play any silly reindeer games with none of y'all. Okay, but you can find me at just look up my name Delequa, Delequa. I am Delequa is where you can find me, and you can also just keep me in your prayers and in all of your love. All
Mhm.
right, and I'm gonna do the
Absolutely.
same for you.
And I thank you, darling. You know I love you. I thank you so much. Everybody,
I
thank
love
you for
you.
tuning in. This is the Couture Experience with your girl, Lady Couture, the voice of all media diva, and my sis, my good, good sis, Delacroix. I love you.
I
Take
love
care.
you.
You know I'm gonna talk to you later.
Yes, you will.
All righty.
All right, babies. Bye.
Bye.